when you have an opportunity, don't be afraid. Even when they shoot, don't be afraid. When you are still listening the sound of the gun, it means that you are still alive. You have to run.
At the northern edge of the Libyan desert, outside the town of Beni Walid, a network of buildings lies empty. These buildings were once the heart of a network of people trafficking and exploitation, through which refugees and migrants passed on their way to Europe. Shifting power dynamics and deals between the EU and Libyan state and non-state actors saw some of these sites abandoned. But the system has endured, and continued EU support is leaving thousands trapped in arbitrary detention across the country. Together with Lawyers for Justice in Libya, Forensics used maps and digital modeling to interview survivors and local experts, to explore the human costs of Libya's detention industry. Their testimonies reveal first-person perspectives of a brutal system of exploitation and abuse. Some of our interviewees asked to remain anonymous for their safety. Anbessa is one of the witnesses we interviewed. He left Eritrea for Ethiopia as a child. Years later, in 2015, he paid smugglers to take him to Europe.
First, I went to Sudan. I was in Khartoum for 5 days. Then we drove with a Toyota pickup, so they put us on the back of the car all together. We have been changed to a different car with different people. Big lorry car, but it was open on the top, so you can just put everybody inside the lorry. There were children's, there were like elders, mothers. There was a lot of us. There was no roads. They just drive on the sand. There's no sign, there's nothing else, like there's nothing to identify. They just keep driving. There was nothing around there. It's very hot. At night it's very cold. For me, that was where the horror started. The only thing we had was like water, a little bit water, like once a day.
No food?
No food. No food. Everybody was very hungry. We traveled day and night, no rest. Then we reached Libya. I think it took us about around 20 to 25 days to reach Beni Walid.
After the fall of the Gaddafi regime in 2011, militias took over, turning towns like Beni Walid into hubs of smuggling and trafficking. This video, shot on the outskirts of Beni Walid, captures a deserted location, once a gateway into the town's people trafficking network. We set out to map this network with insight from local experts who also asked to remain anonymous.
Smugglers from Beni Walid would come to this site. Their cars filled with migrants, 30 to 40 migrants in each car. And then traders would come to this area, the collection point, and they would buy migrants from there.
From this location, refugees and migrants were dispersed across Beni Walid, often detained in repurposed buildings. Among the first such sites in Beni Walid was this, which was once a factory.
The person who took over this land rented the area to smugglers. They put migrants in it until it filled with 5,000 people. All of these spaces.
These sites were widespread throughout the town. Mbessa was once held in one of these sites.
There's over minimum 500 people live together in this compound. Same on this one as well. Every day you do the same thing, which is staying inside the warehouse and think about when is your time to go to the sea and just to go to Europe. We actually get beat up mostly every day. So they have some big stake and then they will just beat you, pass you through, beat everybody on the road. They just enjoy beating you. They will come and at some point will be sleeping and it's very quiet. And just they will come and they will just start beating you when you sleep.
To study how these sites operate, we examined a facility built in 2016 by the Diab family, prominent Libyan traffickers. For a time, it was overseen by the notorious Eritrean trafficker Walid Negash, who has been on trial in the Netherlands since 2024. Using our digital model, an expert witness revealed the operations of the Diab facility. When they enter, detainees are taken to this hangar with the blue roof.
It's divided into smaller spaces. The guards of the center live there. Migrants themselves are used as guards. Those migrants that don't pay to be released are taken to these cells and tortured. The white rest house here, next to the swimming pool, was occupied by Walid Negash. And in that area, the ones who operate the site gather for barbecues and leisure.
In 2021, a militia known as the 444 Brigade forcibly closed many trafficking operations in Beni Walid, seeking to involve themselves in migration politics to secure legitimacy under a new Libyan government. Today, as a result, most of these sites lie empty. But the violent logics of Libya's detention industry continues in state-run facilities intertwined with EU support. Three years after Nbessa's journey, two other witnesses left Cameroon and were smuggled across the Sahara into Libya, aiming for Europe. By then, the journey through Libya had become even harder.
Quand j'entre en Libye, j'entre par les mains de passeurs, comme ça se fait régulièrement. Vous payez l'argent aux passeurs africains qui se chargent d'être intermédiaires avec les Arabes.
We enter Libya, cross the boundary between Libya and Algeria, called Gadames. After I went to Zouara. That's why I tried my first traveling to go to Italy.
On a fait pratiquement 4 jours sur l'eau jusqu'à ce que la Libye vienne nous intercepter, nous mettre en prison. Là, il fait la prison pour la première fois.
By 2019, when Martin first tried to cross the Mediterranean, the Libyan Coast Guard was equipped with new patrol boats. Funded by the EU in efforts to harden its Mediterranean border against vulnerable refugees and migrants.
First time that they pulled me on the sea, when they caught me, they brought me in Almaya. Yeah,
Do you recognize this
Almaya.
port?
Yes, I think they left us one time here.
Many of these interceptions at sea are brought by the Libyan Coast Guard to this port. And from here, directly to El Maya Detention Center. In 2021, Al Maya was designated an official detention site by the Department for Combating Illegal Migration, or DCIM, part of Libya's Ministry of Interior. Officially, Al Maya is one of at least 29 detention centers across Libya run by the DCIM. In practice, though, El Maya is controlled by a militia known as the 55 Brigade, led by Muammar Gaddafi. The brigade's headquarters are next to the detention center. Since 2017, the 55 Brigade has used the facility for smuggling fuel and trafficking people. Detaining migrants offered the militias a chance to gain formal recognition by the Libyan authorities.
All of the area that surrounds Camp 27 and Al Maya is under the power of Allawi. This is how much power he has. Muammar Gaddafi has an agreement with all of the smugglers. You can't successfully smuggle migrants unless you give him your share. And if you don't give him your share, then your boats are going to be returned and your people are going to be detained.
The day we were coming, they wrote on the gate, the center of illegal migration. Yeah. Well, those prison people is like that. These are those that put people in prison and take care of the prison. Police of illegal migration, just badge. That is it exactly. This, you see, that's the meaning of it. Detention center of illegal migration, that's the meaning. There's this uniform, exactly. You can put guns inside their hands. There's always a car beside them. 2 cars, always 2. Yes, exactly like that. When we enter the gate, it was a street like this. It was a long prison like this in front of us. They put us men on one side and the women on this side. So all the women enter inside the room. When the women came outside, they told us that they took their phone, they charged them, they asked them to remove their dresses.
And is it men or women doing the search?
The man. The tall prison was separated into 3. 3 like this. So this is where we were sleeping. I was sleeping in the middle. Inside there were not a window. Only on the toilet that there were a window. Without light, it's dark. So every time you have to put the light. When they want to do the beating, they will enter inside the prison. They will lock the door behind them and start maltreating us. They beat you with guns on your head. You know, these people,
UNHCR, yeah.
Yeah, they will come into the prison. When they were coming, police will come and tell us that we should not say anything bad about them. Because if we say anything bad about them, when they will go away, they are going to maltreat us. It was during cold period, and we were not having things to protect ourselves. and we were sleeping, no mattress on the floor, just a cloth, and we sleep on it. Police don't want us to tell the rest here that we are suffering from those problems. Before they came, I wrote the problem on a piece of paper because everybody was afraid to talk. The man, when he was talking, he was face to face to me. So I showed him a paper like this on my hand. He understood. He came to me and I put inside his hand. The guard did not see. Nobody saw it.
Libya has no asylum system. Refugees and migrants are automatically criminalized and subject to indefinite detention in facilities like El Maya.
If you have money, when you pay, they will release you. But sometimes you pay, they will not release you.
Should we talk about the escape?
Okay, it was at 9 p.m. in the night. It was during a cold period. We took an iron, like a pole like this, so we just make like this and remove a block. If I'm tired, I will call another person, he will come and hit small. We remove 2 blocks from the hole. On this side, yes.
Like down here?
Yeah, there.
Something like that?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. We break here, and we jump here to escape. I crossed the first gate, so I was running inside. I just wanted to go far away from the prison. It was again the gate outside. I crossed again. When they notice that we are running away, they shoot all the night. After I escaped Almaya, I tried to find my way back to Zwara so I can go back again on the sea to Italy. So that's where, when I tried it the second time, the Coast Guard got us on water and bring us back to the port of Tripoli and sent us to Enzara.
Martin was returned to Libya twice by the Coast Guard, eventually arriving in the Ain Zara detention center. Ain Zara has been run by the 42nd Brigade Militia since at least 2017, headquartered next to the detention center.
My building was not far from the gate.
So if the gate is here,
This is the gate, yeah, like this.
and then there's a building here.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where they keep us. The building was divided into 2. Yes, in the middle, but we cannot see the other side.
What color were the walls? Do you remember?
White and blue, the color of the logo. The prison in Libya is the color of the logo.
In 2019, the Secretary General of the United Nations visited Ain Zara, including the very building where Martin was held. But since then, the DCIM has limited UN access to its facilities.
Ça, c'est Zara. Ça, c'est l'intérieur des Zara. Oui, les murs sont comme ça. Cette couleur-là, divisée en 2, ça, c'est Zara.
And how did you arrive? Was it by bus?
Ouais, des trucs comme ça. La porte d'entrée là directement. Quand vous sentez, vous entrez directement dans les cellules. C'est quelque chose comme ça.
And how many people were in this space?
Plus de 200 personnes.
Every morning they will come and count the number of people. There we are many sleeping like this, one by one, one by one.
En prison, en Libye, on ne dort pas bien. Parce que tu vas dormir dans ce sens-ci, là, où tu vas dormir à plat ventre, il y aura des gens qui n'auront pas de place, qui n'auront pas d'espace pour dormir. Non, non, pas-
Like that?
non, non, encore un peu. Non. Oui, presque, oui, quelque chose comme ça, environ, oui, quelque chose comme ça.
And then the next one.
Même chose. Même chose. Vous faites manger, ils ouvrent la porte, vous sortez par groupe de 5. C'est la même chose tous les jours, riz, 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 riz. Le matin, pain avec fromage. À midi, le riz, soir, riz.
And how do people leave? Do people pay?
When us migrants we come in the prison, they count us as money. Maybe you have a number of your family that you want to call. Police will enter inside the prison, he will lock the door behind, he will call you people, the two of you will go inside the toilet. He will give you the phone. You have 1 minute to call.
Ta famille qui paye au passeur. Parce que le passeur vient en prison prendre les passagers qu'on a payé leur argent.
Some people escape. When you have an opportunity, you have to. So I ran away.
Martin and Stefan both paid smugglers to take them across the Mediterranean to Europe.
What kind of boat were you on?
The one they put air inside.
And how many people were on the boat?
52. Yeah, 52 people. We leave Libya at 11 p.m. They caught us at the next day at 8 p.m.
So you were traveling for nearly
Almost 24 hours.
Il y a des gens qui s'asseyent ici, dont un pied dehors dans l'eau, un pied dans la gale. Tout au long, c'est là comme ça. Là. Et à l'intérieur, les pieds sont comme ça. Là. À l'intérieur, comme ça. Voilà. Et ici au bout maintenant, c'est là où il y a celui qui a la boussole pour guider.
Sometimes when we are on water, you see a drone. There's Forex. I don't know it's Forex.
Frontex?
Frontex, that's it, Frontex.
Drones operated by Frontex, the EU's border agency, alert the Libyan Coast Guard to small boat crossings. When they are intercepted, refugees and migrants are often handed directly to militia-run detention centers.
It's when the helicopter came. Helicopter make almost 1 hour, just turning like this, 1 hour turning after we saw the Libya boat coming. We know that when we saw a drone, that's Europe. Even Libya police told us that these people don't want you to enter Europe. They are the one that call us to come and pick you.
And do you remember what boat they had?
This one?
This one?
Yeah. This is the first boat that catch me. Yes. This is the first boat of Libya.
Oui, ce type-ci, si. Ça, c'est ici. Le type de bateau là. Si, si, je ne peux pas oublier, si, je me rappelle très bien.
Martin and Stefan were intercepted by boats like this one, provided to Libya by Italy as part of a migration agreement signed in 2017. The Libyan Coast Guard has been documented violently intercepting small boats as well as targeting civilian rescue vessels.
Yes, exactly.
On voyage comme ça, à un moment donné, quand on nous intercepte, vous voyez le bateau de la Libye qui vient à distance. Ils arrivent ici, là, à côté de vous. Le bateau est grand, plus que pour vous. Ils ont une corde, une grosse corde là qui vous lance ça. Vous arrêtez, ils tirent, ça vient vers vous. Ils attachent le bateau, ils commencent à vous faire sortir un à un.
When everybody's up, they will come and remove the engine, put inside the boat, burn it.
They'd burn the boat
Yes.
at sea.
Yes, they will bust with the knife. Bust with the knife after they put fuel and burn the boat.
After being intercepted at sea, Martin and Stefan were first taken to the port of Tripoli, then back to El Maya and Ain Zara.
Une fois que vous avez posté au port, il y a des gens déjà qui vous attendent. Les bus là qui sont déjà garés avec les gens qui sont cagoulés aussi pour aller armés, ils attendent.
They put me here the second time down here.
Down there.
Yes. The second time I came, it was not as the first time because it's as if they add a number of prisons.
Upon entering the centers, they noticed new buildings. Local experts described how these expansions were fueled by rising profits and often built by the forced labor of detainees themselves.
The first time there was maybe 70 or 60 people. But yeah, it was more than 300 people.
Quand vous entrez dans celui, ils entrent avec vous. Ils vous mettent un côté, ils commencent à vous fouiller un à un. Quand ils ont fini de fouiller, moi j'ai levé la main parce que je voulais aller aux toilettes. Ils ont accepté. Maintenant, quand il était en train de passer devant l'un de ces bandits là, il m'a mis le taser sur le cou. Il m'a mis ça au cou et je suis tombé. Ils ont fait ça 2 fois. C'est celui-ci qui me tasse. Celui-ci.
When Stefan tried to pay to be released from El Maya, guards recognized him as having previously escaped the facility and beat him.
How long were you there before they recognized you?
Almost 2 months. I paid 2,500. That's where one recognized me. This one, you were among those that broke the prison. They started beating me.
Do you remember what symbol they had? This one again.
They are always the same. They always have it here, even here. They drag me outside, close to the door. He used a stick on me. Yes, he was beating me with a stick. The big one, like just fat. He hold with 2 hands. One of them smoked cigarette and spinning on me, on my leg. He put like this on my leg. They left me there. I make 2 days there without eating.
Cette nuit-là, les gens ont eu le courage de commencer à fuir parce qu'ils n'étaient pas tous armés. Et on s'est dit, comme ils ont les bâtons, ils n'ont pas les armes, on va profiter. Même si on tape quelqu'un, il va supporter, mais l'essentiel, c'est qu'il s'échappe. Dès que le policier est venu, pendant qu'il était en train de lever, une personne s'est levée, commençait à courir, tout le monde s'est levé, on a commencé à courir. Vers la direction comme ça là. La barrière qui est le grillage, on a cassé ça. Donc c'est dans cette direction aussi là. C'est pas quelque part par ici là. Il y avait quelque part, je vois un petit mur. De l'autre côté, j'entends le bruit des voitures. Dès que je saute, je vois en bas, il y a directement l'autoroute. Je saute de mur. Moi, je ne saurais pas de quel côté je suis passé. Tout ce que je sais cette nuit-là, c'est qu'on courait.
And Bessa reached Italy on his first attempt to cross the Mediterranean in 2016. Stefan, over 5 years later, made it on his fourth. And Martin on his ninth. Through these survivors' journeys, which have grown even longer and more cyclical, we see the evolution of Libya's brutal detention industry, exacerbated by EU support.
It was terrifying for me at that time. I was scared. I was young as well. I don't know the place. I don't know what to do. It was scary. I've seen 2 or 3 people die in front of me.
In Beni Walid, the bodies were overflowing in town. Then one of the locals donated land so they could bury them. All of those are individual graves. This is a collective graveyard, almost 1 hectare.
Jusqu'à présent, on vend les gens. C'est tellement grave que vous n'avez même pas idée. C'est tellement grave.
I did not want to cross water. Life forced me to cross water. So I have my story. Even if I explain, you cannot see it as I saw it. It will never be the same. We see our friends go and die, but we are always going. It means that there's something that is pushing us to take that risk. The solution of migrants is not protecting the boundaries. The solution is to listen the migrant. The solution of migrants is migrant.